Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for today, Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. I'm Beverly Telesford. In the headlines, the National Bus Association says lives are more important than livelihoods, advises members to take a week off. Health Minister Nicholas Steele dismayed that Grenadians in New York mirror Juve activities, which sparked outrage in Grenada. More than 60 hospital staff members infected with coronavirus, placing additional strain on the health system. Funeral homes explain why family members are not allowed to view their loved ones' bodies once they died from COVID-19. And around the globe, 24-hour curfew in St. Lucia intended to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. And in sports, Teddy Bishop on superb 97-run contribution in the second ODI of the West Indies Rising Stars Tour of England. Details to these and other stories after this message.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. Our lives are more important than our livelihoods. That's the word from the National Bus Association. Earlier today, the NBA issued an advisory appealing to its members to cease operations for 1 week, beginning tomorrow, Wednesday. However, as we hear in this Rena Perry-Thomas report, it's proving to be a divisive issue.
The National Bus Association is calling on all its members to suspend operations from Wednesday 8th to Wednesday 15th in the first instance. This is a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19 among association members and the public. According to the press release, with members already faced with the high cost of operation, there is now the added cost of bus sanitization due to the increased number of COVID cases, with bus operators among them. Added to this, the release noted that busmen are constantly at risk transporting members of the public to and from testing sites without knowing their status. They are now choosing lives over livelihoods. In response to this, Minister for Health Nicholas Steele is calling on bus operators not to pull their services, but rather join forces with the rest of the nation to fight the virus.
Regardless, this is not the time for withdrawal of services in protest. This is the time to consider the safety of yourself and your family. This is that time, yes. And if that is the position that any association, bus association or any other association is taking, that I cannot fault them for, and in fact, to an extent, I would say let us discuss and find ways to do that safely and to the benefit of all.
Bus operator Christopher Stewart, who contacted GBN via telephone, said he does not agree with the actions of the Bus Association and thinks there are other options to solve the issue.
For that statement, I don't think that is the right time to make a statement because there is frontline workers working. Yeah, I think nowadays some of the some apartment working every other day, and I think we should really try rotating the bus. Cut down the sizes of the bus than trying to stay off the road. I don't like that statement at all. For over here, I saw a lot of guys working tomorrow, but I mean, they had to cut down on the trip, the skating a day, and we try to work together,
Grenada has over 1,100 active cases. This has affected many businesses and led to the restriction of movement for many, leaving public transportation hard hit. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett-Thomas reporting.
As done at home, so was done abroad. Grenadians had been chastised in recent times for their lack of moral and concern over the coronavirus as they engaged in illegal carnival-like activities during the festive season. Grenadians in the United States are the ones being castigated this time as they too engaged in similar activities over the Labor Day holiday. The festivities were officially cancelled this year by executive members of Juve City International to avoid the potential spread of COVID-19. According to a New York Post article, a crowd of about 150 revelers marched on Flatbush Avenue and Eastern Parkway at about 3 a.m. on Monday. It stated that people congregated and danced in the sidewalks and streets. Some rang bells, as others could be seen waving the red, yellow, and green flag of Grenada. The minister says that this is heartbreaking, especially now that Grenada is in a COVID-19 crisis.
I have never been more ashamed to see the Grenada flag flying as I have watching it this weekend, knowing that there is death here in Grenada from outbreak of carnival, unofficial, unsanctioned activities. To see some Grenadians supposedly proudly flying our flag in New York, doing the same thing, participating in another country, the unsanctioned, unauthorized activities, flying the Grenadian flag.
Moving on to this story now, and a question is being posed. Should the St. George's University revisit its vaccinated-only policy? GBN's Christina John sought answers.
I've always said that the vaccinated people are the most dangerous in the community. Now, why do I say that? Somebody who is vaccinated is like a truck that has a double axle, that has a subframe and also an additional frame. So they will carry more load than the ordinary truck that doesn't have it. Therefore, they will be able to carry a heavier load of the disease around. Somebody who doesn't have that additional buttress is more vulnerable.
President of the Commercial and Industrial Workers Union, George Mason, despite their move to mandate vaccination for staff, faculty, and students, they have reported positive cases of the coronavirus, leading to the isolation of the positive cases. On Saturday, the St. George's University confirmed results of 15 positive coronavirus cases on campus. The result came from mass screening on campus of over 3,500 students, faculty, and staff, among others, with gold standard nasal and saliva PCR tests. Those testing positive were told to isolate. Back in June, the university took steps to safeguard its community, making it mandatory that only vaccinated employees and students enter the campus. Unvaccinated individuals, including faculty, staff, and students, and and visitors have since been denied entry. The question is, should the university relook its mandated policy that only the vaccinated are allowed entry? President of the CIWU, George Mason, says the message must be consistent. Wearing of masks is for everyone, and the adherence to the protocols is for everyone.
The question is, how do we address the situation with the vaccinated and the time frame spent in the in quarantine, and how do we educate those who are vaccinated to still protect yourself, wear your mask, and protect others? Because I've seen it personally in Grand Dance, that some of the SU students who are vaccinated are emboldened so much that they are walking without a mask. So we are faced with a dilemma that they are fully vaccinated, they are the gold standard for the COVID fight, and they have declared that they have cases. So it tells us that the vaccinated have to be overly protective of the other people in the community when they go around. And I want to make the point, the vaccinated people, like me and others, have to be overly protective of the other people in the community by wearing our masks and doing what is necessary.
The Ministry of Health recently implemented new protocols, including amendments to its visitation policy at all hospitals to minimize the spread of COVID-19. Just how these protocols are put into action is detailed in this report from Chrislina John.
With the new regulations now in place, visitations here at the General Hospital and other major facilities around the island have been restricted. Persons doing drop-offs for family members who are warded here will first have to go through a screening process at the security checkpoint on entrance to the facility. The managing body of the General Hospital and the Ministry of Health have suspended some services offered by the health facility late last month to minimize the spread of the COVID-19. Health officials have ceased all visitations to patients at the General Hospital with immediate effect and stipulate that if any family member has to visit a patient, must submit to a COVID test. The new measures applies to all hospitals in the state of Grenada. Persons coming into accident and emergency 18 years and over must do so alone. Exception is given to a person who may need assistance, as in the case of a physically challenged person. One person is allowed to accompany that individual. Elective surgeries are suspended, as well as outpatient physiotherapy services. However, inpatient services will continue. The laboratory continued to function as normal. X-rays for patients warded at the hospital and ultrasound services are offered to persons both in and out of hospital. Items can be dropped off for patients between 7 and 9 in the morning, and these will be delivered by administrative staff. Children will not be allowed on the compound. Chrislina John, GBN News.
As the active number of COVID-19 cases continue to grow on the island, the number of hospitalized cases is increasing and straining the health system. Added to this, health officials have announced that over 60 workers within the General Hospital have tested positive for COVID-19, affecting the already limited manpower. Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Carol McIntosh, explained.
We're talking about frontline workers, so across the board, doctors, nurses, as well as the auxiliary and ancillary services. At this present time, we have over 60 plus people who are at home tested positive for COVID and in isolation in varying states, whether it is 2 days at home going towards the 14 days. How does that impact? It does impact because it's where you're going to have a person that is pulled out.
13 of the over 60 cases are from community health centers, which are also affected. McIntosh says despite the challenges, they are forging ahead to provide the services needed.
What we are doing especially now, which is why you're hearing that we are not having outpatient department. The clinics are present. We're lessening the amount of services that we're able to provide, as well as increasing the amount of time. So 12-hour shifts that we're allowing. So for those who are in the auxiliary and ancillary, that would allow for them to be able to provide the services with a lesser number per day, and then also allow for them to rest in between. For the doctors and nurses, the same thing. We're putting less services in and going more on emergency services so that we can pull people in as necessary to provide the immediate services that are necessary.
Now, despite the reports, government has categorically denied that it has recalled workers who are confirmed as COVID-19 positive to assist with the overbearing demand on the health sector. Jared Joseph has the details.
We have not asked any of our employees, and we don't have any employees that are expected to work, whether they're asymptomatic or symptomatic and COVID positive. That is not something that is being done.
Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Cara McIntosh, while refuting reports of asymptomatic nurses being recalled, says the workload is now being borne by the current staff. However, PWPRO Daisy Hazard, in responding to Dr. McIntosh's statements, maintains that the reports reaching the union is that many public officers recovering from COVID-19, testing positive, or awaiting results are being forced or bullied into reporting to work.
We cannot say, it would be wrong of us, we cannot say that any worker has been forced to work sick and positive. But what we do know is that where persons are asymptomatic, yes, tested positive and asymptomatic, they are being told, because you are well, although you are positive, put on your PPEs and come to work. Those are the reports reaching our union, credibly from our members.
Hazard says, despite the hospital administrator denying such reports, whether due to ignorance or otherwise, it is not a clear picture of what is happening.
So you have persons who are saying to us, yes, I tested and I no longer have a viral load, or my viral load is very low, but I'm very sick. My body is tired and I'm being forced to return to work. There was one worker that we heard about who was forced to return to work, despite saying, I still feel very unwell, I feel weak and tired, and that person collapsed yesterday.
GBN then quizzed the PRO as to what sort of action the union can take to protect workers from such actions, especially when most are contract workers.
Gerard, you point to a very sad question, and to a question that our country must answer, our union must answer, and the government of the day must answer. Unfortunately and sadly, too many of the persons who are out there, the orderlies, maids, cleaners, nurses fighting COVID, most of them, the majority of them, are contract workers, are workers with very small salaries.
I am Jared Joseph for GBN News.
This is News at 7 coming up. Funeral homes explain why you can't view the bodies of persons who die from COVID-19, and they detail their handling of protective gears used to retrieve bodies. Stay with us.
We're ready. Cricket is big game, though not quite the same. We still display our passion, love all over the Caribbean. Can you feel the energy? Team spirit and unity. Feel the soul of the Caribbean. Courage to stand as one. Yeah, yeah. Play it safe. We the best, yeah. With passion, courage, and love, we in this together now.
Republic Bank, official banking partner of CPL 2021.
Across Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Flow has been the leading telecommunications provider for decades. As we continue to work for you, we are modernizing our fixed network and transitioning all customers to our latest technology. By the end of 2021, the new network offers customers faster speeds, better quality, and a more reliable service experience with faster fault detection and repair time. Upgrading to the new network is free. Just visit any of our retail outlets. Look out for sales agents in your community. Call our virtual store at 444-3569 or send us a text via WhatsApp at 407-3569. Remember, as we transition to our new network, we are simultaneously shutting down our older network. To avoid service interruption, arrange to make your move to the new network as soon as possible. Flow, committed to connecting our communities.
Grenada Electricity Services Limited, GRENLEC, advises shareholders and other stakeholders about the postponement of its 62nd annual general meeting, originally scheduled for Thursday, 16 September 2021. The decision to postpone the meeting follows a change in protocols for gatherings as a result of community spread of COVID-19. GRENLEC urges you to continue to do everything in your power to keep yourself, your family members, co-workers, and friends safe. GRENLEC apologizes for any inconvenience caused by the postponement of the annual general meeting and will provide further updates.
5 lucky customers are enjoying free drinks, free electricity, free fuel, extra cash account, free internet, cable, and data, all for 1 year. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion. With just 2 draws remaining, you can be the lucky winner in August and September for property or vehicle insurance for 1 year, free cooking gas for 1 year, and the big free groceries for 1 year. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Sol Gas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carrot Brewery, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling, GRENLEC, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion.
We've gone through a season of such darkness in this world with COVID-19. We've seen such terrible sadness. We've seen global death. And now we see a light in the tunnel with the vaccination programs globally. And, still the light is not totally bright. But I want to tell teachers it's a great time to be a teacher. It's a great time to be an educator. I want to tell children it's a great and a wonderful time to learn. And I think God has given us an opportunity to be in a different kind of learning space. And I think that we should take all opportunities that we have as we move into a new academic year, 2021 to 2022. I want to wish everyone the best. I want to ask God's blessings on our education sector. And I look forward to great and marvelous things coming out of all of this, even after COVID.
Hello, everybody. I have got some exciting news just for you. Grenada is on the road to Dubai Expo 2020. Now, I know the pandemic has slowed us down just a bit, but this is your chance and your opportunity to showcase your business, products, and services to Dubai and to the whole world. So be a sponsor and jump on board. You can contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at 536-9818 or 440-2640. You can also pitch us an email at internationalbusinessgda@gmail.com. Grenada is on the road to Dubai Expo 2020, and you do not want to miss this opportunity. So see you there.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
We are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Courts, we're doing our part and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe, and shop online at www.shopcourts.com.
For added convenience, our Courts online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances, and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, stop the spread.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Though not quite the same, we still display our passion, love all over the Caribbean. Can you feel the energy? Team spirit and unity. Feel the soul of the Caribbean. Courage to stand as one. Yeah, yeah. Play it safe. We the best, yeah, the best, yeah, the best, yeah, the best, yeah. With passion, courage, and love, we in this together now.
Republic Bank, official banking partner of CPL 2021.
Welcome back. In 2020, there were no COVID-related deaths reported in Grenada. With deaths in the double digits this year, what protocols do funeral agencies have in place to ensure a safe and secure burial or cremation of a COVID-infected body? GBN's Christina John tells us more.
After 12 COVID-related deaths, are funeral agencies prepared to handle the funeral arrangements of the deceased? Marcus Bailey, funeral service supervisor at Bailey's Funeral Home, spoke to our news desk earlier today. He explained their first point of contact with a corpse.
So for removal of COVID bodies, we have been wearing protective suits. We've been using double sets of gloves. So the gloves that you would use to actually remove the body, you take those off as soon as you finish picking up the body. We employ the use of face shields. We use masks, and so we use body bags as well. So once the bodies are picked up, they are placed in the body bag that is sealed, and then they are refrigerated once we get back to the funeral home. In terms of the COVID bodies, no, the COVID bodies are not embalmed. We refrigerate the bodies. Once we pick up, the bodies are refrigerated. Whatever we use is buried with the body. So we pick up the body, whatever safety gears that are used, all of that is placed with the body, and that is buried. Bailey further explained what can be done with the body of someone who died from the virus. That you can either bury or cremate the body. Right. In terms of repatriations, any body that is being repatriated to Grenada, documents have to be submitted beforehand. The documents are then sent to the Ministry of Health, which in turn would give us permission to bring the body in. As it stands right now, any person that dies from COVID-19, your bodies will not be repatriated into Grenada at this time. Enshrined in the new regulations, only 20 people are allowed to bid their loved ones their final goodbye. That is, if that person has not died as a result of the virus. Bailey explained that they too try as much as possible to limit interaction, both at the agency and burial sites. Right. One thing we've been asking people to do in terms of our contribution to stop, to control the spread of the disease, we've been doing a lot of our work electronically. So families have been asked to email in birth certificates, marriage certificates, pictures, and even death announcements. All that has been emailed or WhatsApp in. We've been taking advantage of these electronic means. Families come into the office basically once or twice. So you would come in to choose a casket or coffin and make payments. In case of persons who die as a result of the virus abroad, their relatives have the option to cremate the body abroad and have the ash brought in. Bailey urges people to allow for only immediate family members to attend the church service for their loved one to avoid overcrowding at churches. No happy hour allowed according to the new COVID-19 regulations. Christina John, GBN News.
The chairman of the Grenada movement has been commenting on the economic fallout being registered by the COVID-19 pandemic. Jared Joseph reports.
The complete shutdown of non-essential businesses should have been done with a higher level of consideration. So says chairman of the Grenada movement, Dr. Patrick Antoine, who knows the elevated levels of poverty in the country.
Our poverty rates are the highest in the OECS and among the highest in the region. Our poverty, of course, is linked to unemployment, and our unemployment numbers have come down, not significantly, but we've seen some decline in the last quarter.
Dr. Antoine, who is an economist economist says the current regulations will directly affect small and micro enterprises, their owners, employees, contract workers, among others.
It's going to shoot up the unemployment rate. When the unemployment rate goes up, poverty is going to increase. When poverty increases, we have vulnerability setting in. And the vulnerability comes from food vulnerability, which I keep hammering. And I know many people believe that Grenada is not any exception and there's food insecurity the world over. I reject that. Grenada has absolutely no right, given our resources, having food insecurity.
He says TGM is concerned about those affected being given stimulus packages, adding that they should also be provided with avenues to create sustainable living.
And how we do that is something that we are prepared to help with, because we think that this is a time for all patriotic Grenadians to stand. And so our view is that we're going to see this increased poverty, and we have to find a way, all of us.
TGM's chairman says government's role in providing infrastructure as well as support, financial and otherwise, will be pivotal.
People are going to be hurt. Poverty will go up, vulnerability will go up, but we have to find a way to manage it.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now we take a peek through the GBN ISOR lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOR is brought to you by ClearVision.
Hey, September is just around the corner, so let's see. Vision Eye Center is offering all students a free eye examination.
For the holiday?
Yeah, man, and they have the best prices on glasses. I hear they have glasses as low as $450.
But you know it's only for 1 month.
Boy, let me go, I can't miss that. ClearVision Eye Center, keeping students focused so that we can see the world with a clearer vision.
In tonight's ISOR, we feature submitted video footage of who our ISOR reporter referred to as her hero, Benz. Let's see how he earned that title.
Yes, I do. But you're going to fight yourself to carry what I'm going. How much of a company? A company, man. What? Lord, wow. Thank you, Jesus. I want to go down to something but I'm afraid. All right, GBN News.
Kudos to Benz on a successful rescue. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms. Still ahead, 17 years later, how prepared are we for a hurricane like Hurricane Ivan? We find out from Nadma when we return.
5 lucky customers are enjoying free drinks, free electricity, free fuel, extra cash account, free internet, cable, and data, all for 1 year. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion. With just 2 draws remaining, you can be the lucky winner in August and September for property or vehicle insurance for 1 year, free cooking gas for 1 year, and the big free groceries for 1 year. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Sol Gas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling, Grenlick, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion.
Introducing Color by Seasons. 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 Color by Seasons.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
The Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Ministry of Fisheries and the Senator with responsibility for farmers and fishers, is inviting all farmers and fishers to an online meeting via Zoom to discuss the operations of their trade in a COVID-19 environment on Thursday, September 9, 2021, from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Attend and hear remarks from Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Minister of Agriculture Honorable Peter David, Fisheries Minister Honorable Yulin Bean Hosford, Senator Roderick St. Clair, and officials from the Ministry of Finance, Health, and the Royal Grenada Police Force as we discuss how to move forward in this COVID-19 era. To connect to this very important meeting, visit the Ministry of Agriculture's Facebook page or check with your extension officers for the link.
How will you react when you win? Get ready, because the next Waggity Virtual Bingo goes down this Sunday, September 12th. So we're gonna make it a September to remember. And this time you can win $10,000 US. Tickets are only US $10. But hear this, if you're playing for the first time, your ticket will only cost $5 US. Whoa, that's amazing. Players in Grenada, tickets are available at gotofed.com or from any numerous box offices island-wide. All overseas players, remember, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Join the fun online and let's make Sunday, September 12th, a September to remember. Play Waggity Virtual Bingo. It's so simple and easy to play.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, Flow has been the leading telecommunications provider for decades. As we continue to work for you, we are modernizing our fixed network and transitioning all customers to our latest technology. By the end of 2021, the new network offers customers faster speeds, better quality, and a more reliable service experience with faster fault detection and repair time. Upgrading to the new network is free. Just visit any of our retail outlets. Look out for sales agents in your community. Call our virtual store at 444-3569 or send us a text via WhatsApp at 407-3569. Remember, as we transition to our new network, we are simultaneously shutting down our older network. To avoid service interruption, arrange to make your move to the new network as soon as possible. Flow, committed to connecting our communities.
Welcome back. 17 years ago, Hurricane Ivan, considered the worst hurricane to strike the nation since Hurricane Janet in 1955, hit Grenada as a Category 3 storm. The hurricane's impact caused widespread destruction. The financial cost of the disaster was estimated at more than US $900 million, with more than 80% of the country's building structures damaged. We are again at the peak of the hurricane season, and after being spared over the years from many storms, it's still prudent to know whether or not we are prepared now for a scenario such as September 7th, 2004. Public Relations Officer at the National Disaster Management Agency, Oslin Crosby, responded.
Over the years, a number of structures we have built, and that of buildings. So now we can boast of having a national emergency operating center up at Marshall and also one in Carriacou. We also have outfitted and better prepared our district operating center in that of Black Bay. In addition to that, we can proudly say that our shelters, our emergency shelters, we have an approved list that was disseminated to the public. But of course, we know that once it involves that of response and shelters, in the environment of COVID, the challenge is posed there with that of managing our shelters adequately and keeping our shelteries safe in the midst of this pandemic.
Crosby used the opportunity to encourage Grenadians not to be caught off guard by any natural disaster.
We at NADMA continue to speak the importance of preparedness. It is a message that is even more important now as we operate in this multi-hazardous environment. COVID, while yes, it brings so many challenges in order for us to be able to respond if we have to now against the hurricane. What we can assure the public though is that the mechanism, it's in place, and if we are called upon, we are ready.
Hurricane Ivan also badly damaged the agricultural sector, with widespread damage to nutmeg crops, the island's principal agricultural export. After its passing, all of Grenada was left without power or running water. Stay with us, sports is up next.
It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Borrow up to $10,000 for all your needs. School supplies, staycation, home renovations, appliances or furniture. You can have it all with a summer everything loan. With competitive interest rates and same-day approvals, you can't beat this loan special. Not a member? Join today to get onto this exciting offer. It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Apply today and take advantage of this exciting offer. Visit the nearest Communal branch or call us at 440-1755 for more information. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
How do you choose your toilet paper? Just because it's soft and light. That's how I choose my toilet paper. Made right here in the Isle of Spice. Cherish Springs off Harbor Bay. Super value every day. The price is right and locally they're made. Support local when you purchase Cherish and other quality brands from Grenada Paper Products.
Introducing Color by Seasons. 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 Color by Seasons.
Good evening, sporting fans. Teddy Bishop proudly represented Grenada on Wednesday after he produced a sensational unbeaten knock of 97 runs against England under 19. Bishop, who climbed the ranks from the junior levels onto the senior men's national team for Grenada, skyrocketed to Windward Islands team after he displayed in prowess in the recent Spice Isle T10 tournament. The West Indies under-19 batsman spoke about his performance for the West Indies under-19s, where he smashed 9 fours and 2 sixes.
Yeah, well, it was really pleasing to me. The wicket was really good for batting, so I did try and capitalize. I thought the first 20 balls in my innings was really important in getting a start and then continue at the back end.
Bishop said he was elated with his efforts to bat through the innings while wickets were falling clusters.
It's different conditions out here, so batting is a little bit different here. You have to play the ball a little later and move as early as possible. I think the outfield here is really good. Yeah, you get purchase for your shots. I think once you get in, you can score runs over here.
Still in cricket, Trinbago Knight Riders recorded a resounding victory over Jamaica Talawas as they cemented their top 4 position. Cameos from Lendl Simmons and captain Kieran Pollard ensured the Knight Riders amassed a total of 167 for 4. Simmons held strong to add 42 runs, while Pollard smashed 39 runs from 18 balls at the end to put up a reasonable pursuit. However, the Talawas were never in the chase as Rovman Powell top scored with 22 runs as they crumbled to 92 all out. Here are some match highlights.
Would have been looking at the Talawas, that is a stabilizer. Imad Wazim made a couple of nice shots. He got 11 from 7 or 8 deliveries, but then he pulled Rampal straight to Ali Khan, who could do no wrong all day.
Yeah, they needed a lot, didn't they? Rovman Powell picked up a really good clean strike over deep mid-wicket. A lot of turn on offer, as you can see from that picture. And then Rovman Powell just looking to go a little bit leg side to one that was quite a long way outside off. Dismissed for 22 from 20. Darren Bravo with the catch on that occasion. And this was a beauty from Sunil Narayan.
Too good for Jason Mohammed, who knows Sunil Narayan quite well from their time playing back in Trinidad and Tobago. Carlos Brathwaite showed his power and his muscularity in that Akil Hussain over, but again Hussain held his nerve and came back strong towards the back end of the same over. He's been a stalwart for TKR this season. Then Russell trying to take on Sunil Narayan in over number 16. Couldn't get it over the ropes, again held by Darren Bravo.
It's all falling apart at this stage for the Talawas. Chris Green with chipping one just to Munro at mid-off. That was Ali Khan's 4th wicket, and then it was finished off by Ravi Rampal. Comfortable catch down on the long on boundary, a long off boundary for Darren Bravo once again. All out for 92.
That's sports. Stay with us for a look around the region. Welcome to your One Caribbean Media Hookup. I am your presenter, Beverly Telesford. Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J. Pierre, says the all-day curfew on Sunday was intended to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 while saving lives and livelihoods. Pierre, who posted the comments on his Facebook page, encouraged St. Lucians to follow the protocols. However, there continues to be reports of breaches. More from HTS News Force.
Leaders around the world are forced to safeguard the health of its people while also sustaining livelihoods amid the pandemic. Governments have found it difficult to strike a balance between the two in the face of an ever-changing threat. Countries have enforced curfews, lockdowns, and slowed movements in efforts to curb the spread of the COVID-19 virus. On Sunday, September 5, 2021, the government implemented a 24-hour curfew. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, in a social media post, urged St. Lucia to have some time for reflection during the island-wide curfew. Pierre called on St. Lucia to remain steadfast in faith and follow protocols. He further stated that the move was part of efforts to keep the virus at bay, but also expressed concern about saving lives and livelihoods while enforcing protocols. Sunday worship was also hosted via virtual platforms due to the COVID-19 protocols.
Find the mastermind. That's essentially the message of the Henry family to the police 1 year after the brutal slaying of their loved ones. The details in this HGP-TV report.
The family of slain Joel and Isaiah Henry marked the first anniversary of the brutal murder Monday by crying out for justice.
We thought we'd have justice for these boys in a holy state, the way how the policeman that was going. But as months go by, months go by, now it's a year.
The mutilated bodies of Joel and Isaiah Henry were discovered Sunday afternoon on September 6, 2020, 1 day after the cousins went missing. The teens were severely chopped, their throats slit, and an X engraved on one of their heads. To date, different theories are being debated in relation to how the teens were killed and why. For the family, they are still grief-stricken.
Well, it has been very hard and painful.
In January 2021, police charged 3 men for the murder of Isaiah and Joel Henry, 20-year-old Akar Singh, 34-year-old Anil Sancharo, and 30-year-old Vinud Gopal. Police said Singh confessed to the crime and named the other 2 accused as his accomplices.
Further afield, the United Nations World Food Programme is warning that what is effectively a blockade on aid convoys by rival forces in Ethiopia's Tigray is bringing millions to the brink of famine. Al Jazeera reports.
In Ethiopia's northern Tigray region, 9 months of war between the Ethiopian federal government and leaders in Tigray has spread into the neighboring regions of Afar and Amhara, creating a severe humanitarian crisis. The United Nations warns that what's effectively a blockade on aid convoys by rival forces is pushing millions of people to the brink of famine. People like Sadia Ali and her 5 children. They fled their farm 2 months ago following an attack by Tigray fighters. This makeshift tent in the Afar region has now become their new home. She says it took 2 weeks to get here by foot.
The whole journey was through the scorching sun, and the thirst for drinking water was agonizing. We were forced to drink rainwater from the ground, but that made us sick.
Last week, the WFP called on all parties to allow the movement of aid into the region, where 90% of the population are in urgent need of help. It estimates 100 trucks of aid need to enter Tigray each day to feed them.
And that was your One Caribbean Media Hookup. I was your presenter, Beverly Telesford. Recapping the headlines, National Bus Association says lives are more important than livelihoods. Advises members to take a week off. Health Minister Nicholas Steele dismayed that Grenadians in New York mirror juvie activities which sparked outrage in Grenada. More than 60 hospital staff members infected with coronavirus, placing additional strain on health system. And funeral homes explain why family members are not allowed to view their loved ones' bodies once they died from COVID-19. In around the globe, 24-hour curfew in St. Lucia intended to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. And in sports, Teddy Bishop won superb 97-run contribution in the second ODI of the West Indies Rising Stars Tour of England. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford. That's the news. Good night.